just a piece of scrap wood, okay? This is one of the boards from my freestanding booth. You can see it's kind of rigidy on the back. I just stained it with some gray stain. Doesn't matter what you stain it with, but if you're working with raw wood, it has to be sealed, okay? So you either need to stain it and seal the wood, or you need to put a couple of coats of paint on it because the wood is porous, and if you pour resin over the top of raw wood, the resin is going to just absorb all that, or the wood's going to absorb all that resin, and you're going to have a little bit of a mess. It's, you know, it might not hold, and it's not going to give you the look that you're going to expect. So you really need to seal that wood with some stain, a sealer, or the bonus tutorial is not available until Monday, Debbie. So you need to stain your wood or seal it or put a couple of coats of paint on it before you get started, because it is going to soak up the resin and make it kind of odd looking. So also something you need to keep in mind when working with wood is however your wood looks wet is how it's going to look with resin. So it can darken. You can see mine is sealed really well because it won't even absorb that water. But if you have a piece of wood with paint or something on it, you take some water and just brush it on. And that's what it's going to look like with resin if you are going to do that, okay? So we have a pre-stained, and I stained with oil-based stain, so it should be sealed really nicely. The water wouldn't even absorb into that. So I am going to I found, y'all don't get jealous. Some of my members are going to be jealous when I show this. But we used to have a color in our repertoire called Azuria Reflective. We actually still have it, but they've changed the color, okay? And in my unpacking at my studio, I found this, which is the old Azuria color. And this is all I have, so don't cry, don't yell at me. This is it. I just bagged up whatever I had left, and we are gonna make a cute little heart out of this Azuria right here on our piece. But I was thinking about maybe adding just a little tiny bit. Am I freezing up? I haven't seen that. I'm thinking about adding just a tiny bit of white to really make that color pop. Just a little bit of a dry brush of white. So let me make sure I have a dry brush. I do not. So let me get this. Y'all, working at home instead of the studio has really put a damper on my abilities because I always forget something. I always stinking forget something. So I'm gonna try to get water out of this. So I wanna put a little bit of white on here. I don't really wanna cover up my stain too much. I just wanna get a little bit of white so it really pops that color, this blue. This is the old Azuria. Oh. All right, so I'm gonna just take my brush. It's kind of damp. And I'm gonna load it up. And then I'm gonna offload, okay? I know that seems counterintuitive, but it's really not. But I'm gonna just wipe off a little bit of the excess, and I'm just gonna pull straight down. Right at down. Oh, I just cut myself. Load it up, get excess, and I'm just gonna come straight down and add just a tiny bit of white. And it just kind of gives it an old faded look. So we're gonna work with that. And let me just say this, guys, I'm by myself today. So if you have questions that I miss or don't answer, I will come back after and make sure those questions are answered either by myself or one of my girls or one of my members from the Shattered Circle. So don't think we're ignoring you. We will answer your questions. So I'm just going to keep doing that until I kind of like the amount of white I have. So I'm not trying to paint it white. I'm not trying to, like, if I load my brush really heavy and then brush it on like that, it's gonna apply it really thick, okay? And I don't want that. I want it to be very sporadic and faded and like distressed, I guess is a good word. Kind of looks like it was sanded off. All right, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. And it's just soaking up a little bit, so it's not going to, I'm not going to wait to do my resin, okay? So now we have stained it to seal the wood. We have added a little bit of paint, and so now I'm going to use this sexy blue glass. Hey, Daph, do you miss me yet? Are you missing me? So I'm gonna take some of this. I'm gonna scoop it out with this cup. Some of this. It's the old Azuria. It's so beautiful. It's my favorite color in the world, and it's super hard to find these days because they did change the color. So I'm just gonna freehand a heart with the. I'm gonna kind of try to find my center. 7.5. That's 3.25, 3 3/4-ish. I'm gonna make one little dot with a pencil so that my point is that right? Somebody give me some math. 7.5, 3.5 plus a quarter is 3 3/4. There we go. I'm gonna make one little divot at the 3 3/4 line so that I get my point in the right place. See me? See me? I'm gonna do it at the top too. Yay, Lydia! So excited! I'm so excited! All right, I'm gonna make 2 little divots, and you won't even be able to see those because of the color of the wood, but I can kind of see the graphite from the pencil. So I'm gonna use that to help me keep my heart center, okay? So we're just gonna dump. This is so pretty. Look at this color. I'm gonna dump. I'm gonna find my center and get rid of some icky pieces. And we are going to form a heart. I need more. Might be using all of this. And my point, I'm gonna put this right here to help me stay straight. And hopefully it won't be a wonky heart. Where's my center? Okay, I need to find like 2 pieces. We'll do one here and then one here to help me keep centered. We'll just stick those there. That'll help me kind of keep on track. And I'm gonna go about a 1/2 inch off the wood sides. Kind of a cheaty way. I'm just gonna add, and I often, when I do hearts or shapes like this, I like them a little wonky. Sometimes I'll do like one side higher than the other or something along those lines. I don't really try to make a perfectly straight heart because, you know, none of our hearts are perfect, are they? None of them. So we're gonna move, I'm gonna move this down just a little. Oh, I have a little cobalt in here, snuck in. So let's see, we're getting there. I'm gonna just kind of shove some of that in. And we'll finish out this part. Super cool, I can't wait to see what it looks like. I haven't seen this color in so long. I got so excited when I opened that box and it was staring at me. I was like, where have you been all my life? So anyway, I know I'm silly. Oh, this color's been MIA for so long though. All right, I need some help here. My old fatty fingers are messing me up. There we go. So now I'm just gonna kind of fill in a few little places that are naked. And I probably need to stand up and look down at it so I can make sure that it's straight. Might have should have put a little more white on there, but it's too late now. So I'm gonna fatten it up a little. Just fatten it up so it's super thick and dimensional. I don't know why the comments aren't coming up on my iPad. Super thick and dimensional, so it really stands off the board. Thank you for the sprinkles. Okay, now I'm gonna hold this up. So I still have a smidge, so maybe we'll make something with that again. So I'm gonna hold this up and hope I don't spill it, but check this color out. Is that not awesome? We're gonna pour some resin. So I'm gonna get my blocks and I'm gonna set this piece on my blocks so we don't have drippage. See, I moved my glass already. I knew I was going to. I wiggled too much. Let me get another little piece. Y'all, my voice is not happy with me. I am seriously about to lose it. Okay, this is gonna be so pretty. Is it not beautiful? I'm really thinking, let's see, I had a few little nuggets left. I don't know what I did with them. They might be totally the wrong color though. Yeah, they kind of are. That's cobalt blue. So we'll just leave it like this, and we're gonna go ahead and mix up a little resin. I think we have a lot of glass here, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 ounces, okay? 2 ounces. So we're gonna fill our cup at the, it's a 2-part epoxy, so we're gonna fill 1 ounce of hardener, 1 ounce of resin, and I am going to use my stylus and some black. Is that not pretty? It's gonna be so pretty when we do it. Resin it. I'm gonna mark. I don't have my pen again because I just don't even know what's wrong with me. But I'm gonna use my paint to mark the 1 ounce line. Normally I would use a marker. So now I know how high to fill my resin cup. I'm gonna turn that backwards. So I use art resin exclusively. There you go. You don't scare me. Okay, so I found some gloves. I'm gonna have to blow in them like balloons to get my fingers in. So I'm gonna put some gloves on. Yeah, art resin you can buy art resin on Amazon. You can buy art resin at Hobby Lobby, Joann's, or you can buy it at artresin.com. It is made, oh look y'all, I blew a gasket. We're gonna just hope for the best. I blew a gasket. I have to be super careful. So what I use is art resin, like I said. It is a non-hazmat resin. It is no BPA, no VOC, and it's very, the smell is not strong at all. And so any resin that you use, I would suggest this, but any resin that you use, you need to read the instructions, okay? You need to read the instructions, you need to read the cautions, all that stuff, because for me to explain all that to you, it would take 3 days and I would definitely lose my voice. So we're gonna mix up some resin. We're gonna start with our hardener. I like to bring both bottles to the table with me, and then as I pour one, I move it away, and that way I don't mess up. Yes, if I'm out of glass that you're looking for, just send me a message. I may have it. It's probably on order. I'm expecting a big order around Wednesday. So it's just hard for me to keep up these days. And so just be patient with me, and we'll get you restocked soon. So I'm gonna pour my hardener up to my line. And once it gets kind of close to the line, you wanna stop pouring because it'll start moving fast and it'll start raising. Even when you stop, it's still gonna raise because it's thick like molasses. And if you pour to the line and then stop, you're gonna have too much, all right? So I'm trying not to get that on my hands. So now we're going to do the resin in this cup. Fill it to the line. Remember to stop before you get to the line because it's gonna sneak up on you, kind of like that one almost did me. Put that aside. Micromanaging. It's holding on by a thread, y'all. Holding on by the thread. No, Deborah, we can't ship to Canada because our glass is $6 a bag, $6 or $7 a pound, and it costs about $75 for us to ship 1 pound of glass to you. And I don't think you want to pay that. Pretty sure you don't want to pay $75 for 1 pound of glass. But you can't, I don't know if you guys get Amazon or if you can buy from Amazon. You'll have to buy in larger quantities or find a fiberglass place there in town for crushed glass, or, you know, maybe go to a glass company and ask them. It's people who, where's my stirry thingy? There it is. People who, you know, do glass. Okay, so I'm gonna pour into my cup now. Both parts. We're gonna start with this one. We're just gonna dump it in and we're gonna scrape out as much as we can so that we remain equally mixed. Here's one. Now we'll dump this one. Hey, Sandy. We'll dump this one. And then we're gonna mix. Is there anybody, I don't think Catherine is here, bless her heart. She was up all night answering people's questions. I'm gonna owe her a bazillion dollars. But is there anybody from my group here who can help me time? Because I can't stir, talk, and time because I don't have that capability. My brain doesn't work that way. I can do maybe 2 things. Thank you, Gina. I can do maybe 2 things at once, but definitely not 3, okay? So I'm gonna start stirring, so y'all let me know when 3 minutes is up, and I'm gonna chitty chat so that I can really lose my voice. So, so when you're mixing your resin, you want to mix slowly. You don't wanna whip it to death because the faster you beat it, the more air bubbles you are incorporating into your resin. Okay, so you're gonna stir slowly. You're gonna scrape the sides, scrape the bottom, and keep doing that. Stir, scrape, 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 scrape. And you're gonna do that for 3 minutes for art resin. If you're using a different resin, you're gonna have to read the directions for that because I can only verify that this is how art resin works. Okay, so while I'm stirring and scraping, does anybody have a question about the shattered circle? Sherry, I do have a video inside the shattered circle. If you remember, there is a video on breaking glass, cutting glass, tinting glass, cutting vases, breaking vases, tinting resin, where to find glass. All those things are inside our Shattered Circle group. If you're a member, you can find those in the learning tools. And so if anybody have a question about the Shattered Circle, we are closing the doors on Monday and we won't be open again till the fall, probably September-ish. So we'd love to have you because if you join today, by September, you'll have the vault already, right? Or by October anyway. So yeah, we'd love to have you. If you want to join and decide to pay the annual option, pay for a year in advance, you get 2 months free and you get the vault immediately. Okay, if you join today and pay monthly, you get the vault in 6 months. We do a minimum of 2 projects a month inside the Shattered Circle, and they are a step-by-step video or live. Step-by-step, hold your hand every step of the way. You get tracers, color lists, supply list, all that stuff. And if you're in the Shattered Circle, you get anything that we do on this page is anything we do on this page, you get over in the Shattered Circle as well, the tracer and the color list. It's $37 a month, and if you join today, you get the last 6 months of workshops that are in the Shattered Circle automatically, which one includes that black dress behind me that you can't see now, but there are about 12 or more workshops loaded in already. So you would have 12 workshops immediately to pick and choose from to see what you wanted to create. So we are excited. We would love to have you. I'm going to pop that link in, or can somebody, thank you, Patsy, Gina or Patsy or Sue or somebody. Can one of you, yes, or $370 a year. Can one of you pop the link in? It's www.theshatteredcircle.com. And I'm going to start pouring my resin. So you don't really pour. That's a bad term. What you do is drizzle, okay? So drizzling allows you to hit the top of the glass. It flows through the pieces underneath and then glues it to your board, okay? So I'm gonna just start drizzling. And I like to start in one spot and then work across so that I know I've covered everything. And you can also tell just by the look of it if it's got resin on it or not. The black dress, I think somebody said, the black dress is 15 by 30. It's a 15 by 30, but you could reduce or enlarge to whatever size you wanted. You do get the tracer for that. Added 5 seconds for chatting. You do get a tracer for that, and so you don't even have to know how to draw. Okay, you don't have to know how to draw. Do you need to cut glass for projects or buy Shattered? You can buy glass from me. I sell this glass, the crushed tempered glass, like what we're using here. But I also teach you how to do it yourself. Like there is a video on break-in shattered glass. There's a video on how to cut strips and out of sheet glass, how to bust a vase up to use, how to bust a beer bottle, wine bottle, all that stuff. Because, you don't have to buy from me. I encourage you to source your own. And, it's cheaper if you can do it that way. But there is a video on everything you need to know to be an excellent successful glass artist. If it's not in there, you don't need to know it. Well, that's probably not true. I'm sure there's something missing in there. I don't know what it is. Somebody will let me know eventually, I'm sure. But yeah, we sell the shattered glass, which is what I'm using right now. It's shattered tempered glass, but we teach you how to use other glass as well. And how to tint it, how to use it, how to tint it. I might not have enough resin, y'all. Yeah, I do. Now I'm going to take my excess and I'm going to spread it around my heart on the rest of the wood so that all my wood is covered. Let me do that real quick and then I'll dump the rest on. Whoops, get down in there. Then we'll put the rest on the heart. So when we're done, I will turn the camera back up and take a few seconds to answer any questions you have if I missed them. And if you're watching the replay, just ask away and myself or someone from the Shattered Circle will help you out, give you some answers. We want all your questions answered. So I promise you that's going to happen. We're not going to leave you high and dry wondering what the answer to your question is. So let me spread this out. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna be able to talk by Monday. So we're open until Monday. We close at midnight Monday. And I don't know, I might have to learn sign language. Might just have to paint and not talk. So we're gonna keep doing some projects this week. So we got just a little bit left. So I'm gonna see if I can't get it all out. And I don't like to waste. And we'll just put that on our heart. We don't waste. All right, so I think we're about done. And I'm gonna hold this up close so you can see. See how nice the wood is now, because where'd my wifey go? Well, I had one. I need to, I'll just put it right there for now. Probably forget that. So I'm gonna take these off because, you know, they're practically off anyway. Look, that's funny. I'm gonna take that piece off. And I'm gonna hit it really quick with a propane torch. You can use a kitchen torch or a heat gun to do this. And what the heat does is gets the bubbles out of the art piece. And I wouldn't even worry too much about it on a wood piece because wood breathes and you're gonna get those little divots and bubbles anyway. And so I wouldn't worry too much about the bubbles on wood, because you're going to get some little divots and stuff because the wood is still going to try to soak in, especially if you missed a little spot. But look how pretty. Look how pretty that is. Woo! So stinking pretty. So I'm going to